What's going on, everybody? I'm Tank, and this is another episode of Roadie Reactions.
Get with this.
Right now, while I'm filming, we've still got a couple days to go, but by the time you guys are watching this, it's Halloween! So happy Halloween, everybody! And I could not think of a better way to celebrate than to do a first-time reaction to a band that I've never heard with such an appropriate band name and song title. And I had never heard of these guys, and after I did my first reaction to Blind Guardian, there were a couple comments where people were like, well, if you like them, you need to listen to the godfathers of power metal. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of forgot about it after a while, but as we got closer to Halloween, more and more people kept saying, you have to do this. So I was like, you know what? It's fitting, let's do it. And there were quite a few videos to choose from this specific song, but I saw that their label actually uploaded an official live video, and you guys know I love live videos so I can see all the gear. So that's what we're gonna go for. So I will link this video in the description below, and today, for the very first time, I am gonna be checking out the godfathers of power metal, Helloween, with a live version of their song, Halloween. Let's go! I also just noticed this is a pretty decently long song at 13.5 minutes, so let's go. This crowd sounds huge. Yeah, that's a f***ing huge crowd. Okay, I think they're projecting onto their backdrop. I was trying to figure out what was going on. Oh, let's go back. Cool production effect. So that was a kabuki drop. A lot of bands do that for reveals. It's basically just a giant sheet that covers the front of the stage. Any metalheads that are watching, you've probably seen Slipknot do that, Rammstein do that. A lot of times they're solid, so you can't see what's going on the stage. That looked like it was mesh, so you could see through it, you could see it, but they're projecting onto it, and it looked very cool. And there's a system rigged up top, so they can remotely trigger it to just drop. So, 3 guitarists and 2 lead vocalists? Holy shit. I think I saw when I was pulling this video up, I could be wrong, but this just seems like a South American crowd with how loud and chanty they are. I believe this was like a DVD shoot in South America somewhere. Maybe. I could be wrong. I'll check though, we'll find out. This is rad sounding so far. I know this band is super old, meaning like they've been around a long time. I think this song is older than I am. It's a more updated sound than what I expected it to be, if that makes any sense. But let's keep checking out more. I dig it so far. Oh! So I really like the stage visual aesthetic. Their drum riser looked like it's surrounded by like a carved out pumpkin. Like pretty cool. Let's talk about that drum kit though, man. So I noticed that the drummer's playing Paiste cymbals. And I believe when it showed one of the kick drums, I saw a faint Pearl logo. So I'm going to say, you know, Pearl Europe kit, because I remember this band is German. So you'll notice, I think there's 4 kick drums there, if I remember right already. A lot of the times that's visual aesthetics. Nobody's using 4 kick drums. Now, if these guys are super particular and musical, there's a chance they could be using all of them, because I did notice there were a couple kick drums that were smaller sizes, and that would give it a different tone. So there might be some songs where he switches over to use another kick drum. I'm not sure. And then you'll obviously see other drums that are up to his sides and stuff like that. Those are probably stuff that's only used for one little specific part in songs, so it's not in front of him all the time, but pretty awesome. Let's continue. A lot of gear to talk about. Oh, good fill. So one thing I'm noticing about the production is that lighting wise, there's nothing insane going on. Like, it's actually kind of an old school looking rig. There's not a lot of crazy moving lights going on or anything. The main focus on the production, honestly, is the stage decor, like the pumpkin and the risers and everybody on there. And then the giant video wall hanging behind them as well, which they have some cool content on. Looking around at the band, I don't know the history of these guys since I don't know them, but a lot of the members on stage are obviously older, so I'm assuming they're either original members or they've been with them for a while. But the drummer and the far stage right guitar player look considerably younger, so I'm gonna guess that they are not original members. Speaking of that stage right guitar player really quick, looks like he's playing a Dean V. I can't guess what specific model that is just from sitting here looking at it, but interesting thing about that is I saw the other guitar player was playing a Gibson Flying V. Gibson sued Dean over that last year. Like, the Dean V has been around for 40 years now, and Gibson just now sued them over trademark infringement over the design. So we've talked about on this channel, all these guitar companies sue the shit out of each other all the time over designs and stuff. And the funny thing is, everybody's copied everybody at some point. So, let's go. right, it's Halloween. I'm really digging that bass tone a lot. So let's talk about that bass. Killer bass tone, man. He was doing some really cool high parts going on in there. From my eye in this video, it looks like a Fender jazz bass, but I started thinking about it, and German band, he very well could be using a Sandberg bass, which is a German company, and they have a couple models. I think it's either is it an Electra, I believe, and the California. I know for sure that's one of them. They look like Fender P, Fender J basses. So I don't know specifically from watching right now what it is. I haven't got a good look at the headstock, but I'll find out. It's either a Fender jazz bass or I would guess it's a Sandberg if it's not a Fender. But man, it sounds great. I'm loving this. Oh, more good bass tone.
What will be there very soon, changing and knock at your door, is it real or is it a dream? On trembling legs, you open the door and you scream on Helloween.
All right, since we just heard a guitar solo, I want to talk about that guitar because it's an ESP, and we talk about ESPs a lot on this channel. So my first initial gut reaction was it's an ESP SV, which is like that Randy Rhoads looking shape. I learned something recently, though, that I didn't know. There is a line called the ESP RV, which is almost the exact same thing. But ESP has a line called the ESP Edwards edition guitars. And what those are very high-end models that are usually almost always replicas of other famous guitars that artists like. So like Les Pauls, Flying V's, Randy Rhoads. They are not available in the US. They are only available from ESP's Japanese custom shop. That way, they don't infringe on the trademarks and get sued like we were just talking about. So while they can't sell those RVs in the United States, somebody could have them imported from Japan and sell them privately. So kind of interesting. I would assume a band of this stature, that's probably an RV, and it's fully custom, obviously. He's got a Floyd Rose double locking system on it. Interesting color, interesting graphic. It's got to be a fully custom. So pretty cool, though. More fun facts about ESP. That bass player's tone is just standing out above everything. Damn.
Am I in Spain? Or is it hell? I can see a light coming. It's coming nearer. It's shining so bright. It's shining.
Drummers just pulling out fills here and there. I hope this doesn't sound like I'm making fun of him, but their stage right guitar player with the Dean V, it's like he looks like he's either trying to be an AFI or the Misfits without any of the face paint on. But he's playing great, man. All these guys are really good. I'm actually shocked I haven't listened to this band before or heard this band before. Holy shit, we're only halfway through this. I'm going to stop talking. Let's keep going. Oh yeah, that's a Sandberg bass for sure. So earlier I was talking about how the lighting, there's like nothing like really over the top going on. The reason they're doing that is because they're using that video wall the entire time, and they're using it for content and not just designs like we've seen in a lot of other videos where there's actual like designs and effects going on that work with the lighting. This is just content. There's just been stuff playing the whole time, so they don't want to wash that out with too many lights. But they are doing a really good job, their lighting director, with strobes and atomic flashes. It's actually coming from the same lighting device. The atomics are the strobe lights that are about, that big, a little bigger than a shoebox. But they're the lights that are causing the strobing effect, but also the lights that are doing the huge blinding flash at the same time. They're capable of doing both. Looks pretty cool. don't get mad at me for saying this. This is starting to get into dangerous territory with me because there's a lot of wanking going on. And by that, I mean there's a lot of riffing and just crazy shit going on. More so than actual song structure. And it's almost, I think I've said this to some people, but it's like almost the same reason I like but don't love Dream Theater. It gets to a certain point where you're just like shredding so much and playing so much cool shit that it's like, okay, that's cool, but you know, give me a badass composed song. The first half of this I was really into. I'm starting to fall out of it a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. Dude, they got some pipes though, man. Those dudes can sing. So really quick, because there was one guitar player I didn't talk about. We were talking earlier about how Gibson was suing Dean. The other guitar player is playing a Gibson Flying V. That thing's got to be a fully custom, if not a signature for him, just based on the design on it and the finish on it. Like, it's pretty sick looking. It sounds really good, but I mean, it's a Gibson. It's going to sound good. We're about at the end. Let's finish this off here. Those graphics on the video wall. That was an abrupt ending. Let's go talk about it. So, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I would never do that. I liked that. Didn't love it. I probably won't go out of my way to listen to it again. It's just not my taste in that kind of metal. And there are some power metal bands that I do really enjoy. But as I was saying in the video, there's just so much going on. I would rather get like a structured song. And I did notice that like the official music video of this song is only like 5 minutes. So maybe they chopped it up for like MTV back in the day or something, and that did better in terms of viewership, and that's why they did it. But like, you know, even though I say these things, the great thing about this is I can still appreciate it. Like, these players are fantastic, and those guys have insane vocals. They sounded great. Everything all around in this band sounded great. They played great. I just personally, my taste, I didn't love it, and I probably won't go out of my way to listen to it many more times, except for maybe on Helloween again. But either way, you guys that have been here know this is what I do. I check out new stuff that I haven't heard, and I give you my honest opinion on it. So, that being said, thank you guys for recommending this. I'm glad I checked it out, because if these guys are the godfathers of power metal, or European power metal, I can see where it all comes from, man. They had that classic power metal sound, for sure. So, thank you guys for recommending this. I'm glad I checked it out, and if you're new here, feel free to click subscribe. I release new videos almost every day, so if you turn the alerts on, you'll be notified the second new stuff comes out. If you liked this video, I would greatly appreciate the like, and if you disliked it, not a big deal. You can click dislike, move on. I'm also on a ton of different social media. I even have a Discord server that I hang out on often. I will link that in the description below. And my handle on everything social media related is @TankTheTech. Thank you so much once again for watching. I will be back very soon with another episode of Roadie Reactions.